My dog's stick! My dog's stick is going! Somebody help!
And they're like, your dog? And you're like, no, just
stick! It's his favorite stick!
Fun with Dad? Dad's lap?
Check them out. Films that wave.
I am cooking a new recipe, which doesn't look like much, but we shall see. It's what do they call it? Brown beef orzo tomato cream sauce. Looks like some sort of yummy pasta thing. I cut an onion, I didn't cry, so that was impressive. I learned a trick that if you leave the, oh, what do you call it? Like the stem or like the roots on it, and you cut from the other end, it doesn't make you cry. And it won this time. It was a success. So we're gonna cook this. I'm gonna empty one garlic, put another garlic in. I have to use all those spices. We had to buy Worcestershire sauce, which we don't typically have. That'll go good in the burgers too. And yeah, I had the perfect amount of orzo left over. So we'll see. We're at Olympic National Park. That's the beach parking lot. We're in a spot that's big enough for us, and I think it's 2 o'clock. Yeah, 2:15 in the afternoon. The boys are in the back. Zeke's having a snack in his private parts. Nate's doing a video. Peace. It was a success. I keep putting more and more spinach in here because it's like it keeps disappearing. That's the beauty of spinach. But it was very yummy. The new 60 degrees was cold.
Yeah, we're dressed up like we're from Arizona. Like, well, we've probably actually spent more time in Arizona than we have back home in the last 365 days. Yes, very nice. This is beautiful. Great night for a sunset.
Tranquil.
Yeah, with those rocks. It was louder last time, I think. Down further, maybe.
Down further.
So we'll check it out in the morning.
And maybe that was like super high tide over there to where like it was these bigger ones.
Tsunami style. Rachel just moved back because they're getting pretty close. Well, I think we actually been sitting like right here the whole time. She was up a little bit more. It got pretty close to Zeke because that's his stick. Oh, that's a good one. Love that pink and blue hue in the background.
Oh, somebody help! My dog's stick! My dog's stick is going! Somebody help!
And they're like, your dog? And you're like, no, just
It's his favorite stick!
I just start paddling out as far as I can. Just got back to the beach. Got a good night's sleep last night. Got a shower in. Got our water filled up. Looks like it's gonna be...
stayed at like a hostel campground, I'd call it.
A hippie hostel bicycle cycle camp. Tailored more for cyclists, like on a pedal bike. And then, because it's not far from the national park, and then motorcycles. You can continue. I wasn't stealing.
Ooh. It was perfect for what we needed. We got showers.
Donation based too, so you give what you think. We did. If you're in a position of where you can't give anything and you're just traveling, that's cool too, but we were very grateful for the safe place to stay and
Convenient.
showers, so Rachel wrote up a nice little thank you note and some moolah in there. Back to the beach though. It was beautiful last night. We got a really good sunset. It was nice. Hung out later than we usually would because it was only down the road where we were parking and staying, so we weren't worried about critters as much. Gonna walk around the beach, kind of vibe out for a bit, and see where the wind blows us. I think I head north up to that.
We should look into it more.
Look into those hikes I want to do.
Show me where they are on a map.
Ford Escape was parked there yesterday too. Damn near same spot. Illinois plates, that's why I know that.
Huh.
It's a long way from home. The sun is out in full force.
Oof. You can see that again.
It's good though, it's nice.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing. But Zeke on the other hand with his black fur looked like he was getting hot, so
Yeah.
I built him a little fort. Little shade, if you will. Yeah, she's a cute little boy. How do you like it? It's nice to have a little shade, huh? You want one of your sticks? There you go. Good boy. Yeah, he's a good boy. Pretty sweet little operation we got here, huh? What a beautiful day. Pretty impressive to see some of this driftwood that washed up here. I mean, look at that. That is a full tree. From there all the way down. That's just absolutely insane. I've never seen anything like that. That thing washed up here on shore. What? It's insanity. What a beautiful day though. I keep saying that. We've been reading our books and it's nice to sit out here, relax and get some sun. Is it good? Good. Alright, now that we've finished eating and we're not trying to fill our mouths with food, we'll recap the day. Woke up, went to the beach, slept at this like hostel style campground. It was cool, the guy was friendly, donation based. We left him a donation, some money.
Zeke ate breakfast like normal.
Zeke ate breakfast like normal. Got out of the van like normal. I might have whimpered like once when he stepped out of the van, just a little like whimper or yelp. And then we went to the beach, went out to the beach. He walked, I think, perfectly fine all the way to the beach, was walking around the beach, was on his leash. I made him this little fort shelter thing that he could like sit in to be out of the sun. And so he sat in there and just laid in there for what, the whole time we read, hour and a half. maybe not an hour and a half under there, maybe an hour,
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever, irrelevant. Then when I was gonna go take a piss or something like that, and then Rachel's like, let's just both go to the van. And then when Zeke stood up, he started like whimpering and yelping, like almost as if like you had a shock collar or something. Like just it was, yeah, but like the noise he would make when we had a training collar, which the occasional couple of times we had shocked him, the same noise, like just takes his breath away. So we go to the van. And then he had like an actual episode where he was like, just kept whimpering and yelping and like something was wrong. He was in pain. And this happened like, what, a month and a half ago? A month ago, we determined. We were camping back home, like some part of Wisconsin. And he was playing ball, playing stick just fine the whole time. And then he ran off towards a stick and came around this corner and just started yelping, like, running towards us, sat right next to us and was still yelping, and Rachel was like freaking out, thinking we had to go to a hospital. I'm like, we just have to.
I thought he got stung by like a batch of hornets.
Well, that's what I thought, because I'm like, nothing happened. He didn't even like jump in the air. And so I'm like, we got to be calm. We were calm, and I was petting him, and he was yelping, and then he just quit yelping, stood up, and walked over and grabbed the stick, and everything was fine. Never yelped again. Didn't, not. Said the water pump wasn't a thing for like a month. But anyway, so that happened. Why are those flickering? It's burning out right now. That one right above you.
Keep talking.
So that is the nature of this day, and that's like just, it's fitting. We've had these ones here have been in here for 2 years. The ones above the ceiling I just replaced probably 6 months ago, because not too long they started flickering and going out. Anyways, that's a whole nother tangent. But it has just seemed like what could go wrong can go wrong. Zeke's flaring up. We decided to leave the beach, head more inland, north Washington, northeast from where we were at, and Rachel called this dispensary to look for CBD or get CBD for Zeke. I've heard, gives him relief with their arthritis or joint pain. We'll start with that. He's eating, explained all that.
We're 90 minutes away at this point. Like, we're an hour and a half drive from the closest dispensary.
And so
she was super nice on the phone, told me everything I needed to know about it, sent me a photo even to my text message to like let me look up what it was. Like,
oh, that's very good.
Yeah, isn't it? It's fresh.
Yeah.
So we decided to drive the hour and a half. We bypass a couple of things going through the rest of the national park because we were just like, he's our priority. We need to like fix this. And then we get to the dispensary and Nate goes in and it's a whole nother story versus...
Nope. On the way there, I had looked at reviews of that dispensary and saw that there was a happy hour where they did, stuff was 25% off. So I called in, get the girl working. I assume it's the one Rachel talked to. I said, hey, like I saw something about a happy hour, which is like after 8 p.m. or after 10 p.m., like this weird stuff. She goes, oh, we're not currently doing that. Everything in the store is 30% off. And I said, oh, okay, cool. So get in there. I said, hey, you talked to my fiance on the phone. What's the product? Oh, it's this one. Okay, cool. And I said, oh, and this is 30. I said, okay, so after the 30% off. And she said, well, this one isn't a part of the 30% off. And I'm looking at a sign behind her that says, everything in the store, 25% off on happy hour. She's saying there's a 30% off sale. And I'm like, you're trying to tell me you never said this at all on the phone. And I just happen to pick the one item. Where I come from, everything means everything. Like, so like at that point, I'm like, I'm being taken advantage of, or like she knew that the dog needed it or Zeke needed it. So I just said, you know what, there's a place down the street. That place had a happy hour. It was 25% off after 8 p.m. It was 7:15. We go in there, or I go in there, talk to the guy. Super cool. What was that place called? As far as a shout out,
I don't know.
I can't even remember what that place was called. Sparky's or Sparks or something. Anyways, super cool guy. Gave me the promotion, even though it wasn't 8 p.m. yet. Was great. That's how the first encounter should have been. So anyways, the nature of this whole conversation is Zeke's in pain, seems like he's in distress every once in a while, not consistently. And it was just kind of one thing after another. We got here to this casino where we're staying. Rachel cooked dinner. I iced Zeke. And again, side point, like Rachel said, he is mobile. He's eating, he's peeing, he's pooping. He can go on a walk. Like if I take him out in the casino parking lot right now, he'll walk all around there.
He'll go ooh when he like gets up the first moment.
Or in here, you know, he'll randomly do that. Like he jumped up here right away just fine. So it's got to be like a joint.
It's very inconsistent, and it almost sounds like if we were to like step on his tail or something. It'd be like a quick
That's a good way to say it.
and then it just passes, and it cannot happen again for 3 hours, or it might happen again in 20 minutes. And that's just where like we feel like maybe the vet would be premature, but also
I agree with you. Like if we were back home, I'd call his vet or the vet and would say, hey, you know, this is what's going on. When can we get him in? You can evaluate him, see where the pain is, you know, of course. But like I told Rachel, to just go to some random vet in Washington right now and be like, hey, you know, we don't know what's going on. You know, they're going to want to do x-rays. They're going to want to do full scan. Which he's our son. You know, we do any of that for him. It's not that we're like, hey, we don't want to do that for him. But it seems like an isolated incident where it happened today, or it happened while he was playing on the beach in Tillicum, and it'll buff. But 10:30, it was a long day. It literally felt like 3 days in one day, in the sense of just kind of, and this is probably really minimal to some people's problems, and we're aware of that. Like, I mean, in the sense of like nothing drastic happened, and it's always a case of where as soon as you say what else could go wrong, or this has been the worst day, something even worse will happen. So
I love sunburn.
yeah, I did get some sun today. My foot
Look at
was
this.
pretty burned too. And what one's that from?
This was when I was coming up the van and I bumped it on the door.
Really? Just earlier, like a couple hours ago? Sick.
It's the gnarliest rainbow of colors.
Yeah,
I've
that
ever
looks
seen.
like limes. You bruise pretty easily. Anyways, VanLife's great.
We also didn't know if Zeke might have Lyme's.
Yeah, you know, I've heard stories of friends who their dogs have had Lyme's and it's gone untreated and stuff. So like he's due for a checkup when we get back home. So I'll take him to the vet and I'll have him do the Lyme's test and give him an overall assessment. Because he's got so much energy. He literally has so much energy that like we played, you go through it, you remember what were the hikes, and then how we'd go to the beach and play ball all
Last
day.
Saturday we walked 6.5 miles on the beach with him off leash, playing fetch back and forth. So if we only walked 6.5 miles, he probably walked 12 because of double.
Oh, like him going up
We'd
for his
throw
ball.
and get
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ball.
okay, sorry.
You know what I'm
I thought you
saying?
meant just because he was a dog going back and forth. Yeah, I get it.
He essentially, every time we'd walk
Totally.
4 steps,
I agree with that.
he had walked
If
how
not
many
more than that.
yards
Yeah,
and
totally.
then back. So, okay.
But
so
mind you, we weren't like chucking the ball, like, go get it. He'd bring the ball back and he'd whine and be like, throw the ball again, even when we got back to camp.
So that was last Saturday. Today is Saturday. So a week ago today, it was that beach walk.
This is very good.
Yeah. Then the following day we did an hike that was almost 7 miles again on trails, and he was off leash for most of that.
Yeah, so like
Then-
it would go up, come back, and
Yeah, and then the Monday we did a 2.5 mile straight up, like very big incline hike.
perfectly fine then. Zeke
Perfectly
was.
fine.
He was on a
My
leash that
ankle
one.
started hurting.
Yeah,
And then
the whole unit's falling apart.
yes, we stopped at a school. Nate threw the ball once. Zeke went up and got it, and then laid down immediately. And we were like, that is not normal. But
And that could have been it too. Like that moment could have been when it went wrong, because we were in the van for 2 hours at that point that day driving, where he was just sitting laying down. We get out like an idiot. I instantly throw the ball, and of course his dog instincts are run to the ball, to where no different than you and I, like we wouldn't wake up in the morning and just run out the door and start doing a full marathon sprint.